Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
How's it going, bro? Doing all right?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How's it going? Can you hear me? Edward. Edward, can you hear me? Can you hear me, bro? I'm like brother Bonnie. Man, I'm tired.
Salam. How you?
Walaikum assalam.
I can now actually hear you guys.
Oh, okay. I'll cut
I
you.
could not hear anything for the past 3 minutes.
All right.
It's weird. Did you guys hear me when I was saying assalamu alaikum?
Okay.
No.
Well, alaikum
I,
Okay.
assalam, rahmatullah. That's all I
I,
All
I
right.
heard you when I first came on. You just couldn't hear me.
Okay. Yeah, it was weird. So, I mean, I was total blackout there for like 3 minutes.
It's okay.
Let me again, I'll probably have to cut out here about noon. We have a pre-Ramadan activity at the masjid, and I got to be there.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
to let you know.
All right. So we will get to this as quickly as possible. So Adam, if you don't mind, go ahead and open up this morning.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
I mean,
All right, good. So unfortunately, neither Omar or Imam Talib are with us yet. So, but we'll see what we can knock out before the two of them get here. So one of the first things that I wanted to touch on this morning was obviously the webinar seminars that we have coming up that we're going to start in March. And I only bring this up now because we're about to start Ramadan probably on Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. And a lot of the energies that we have are going to be focused on the next 31 days or so. So, as much as we can kind of make decisions on about those seminars and get that locked down in the next few days, say the next week in particular, week and a half, probably going to be better for all of us so that we're not scrambling once the Eid comes in to get everything in order. So with that being said, I talked to Adam earlier this week. Of course, last week in last week's meeting, we had talked about the issues of actually people being able to purchase their ticket, whatever you want to call it, to be able to attend seminars because of what had happened to us. So we needed to choose a new payment method for people to purchase their attendance. So Adam, I'm going to throw it to you and see if you had any time at all, and I know you're super busy with taxes, but have you had any time at all to look into that and any possible solutions that we can start implementing?
Brother, I'm sorry this has been a heck of a week, but I'll tell you what, this afternoon I'm gonna try to see what it takes to set up a PayPal account.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to use the my Graceline email.
While we're gonna listen to something and then we'll watch a video. Y'all go get some more if you want. Could you get some juice? Somebody get me some.
Sister Cleta, can you mute yourself, please, man?
Yeah, I muted her.
You did? Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have to see if it'll work. I have to use my
I can use part to open that. I said.
Sister Cleta, can you mute your? Yeah, she did it again.
She muted her. That child is very happy.
Yeah, really. Anyway, I had to use the Graceline email. I can't use my email because I got an account with
Right.
PayPal already.
Right.
And then, lo and behold, it was time to renew some things on the website, the domain name, and I had it on automatic renewal, which was a mistake. The bank approved it, but it put us in a overdraft position.
Okay.
So I had to make a $100 donation to get us back to positive, but it ain't that much. It might be $30 positive.
Okay. So we need.
I'm hoping nothing else come through. So anyway, now that I got
Okay.
that straight, I'll try to set the PayPal up with the it's Adam at Graceline Community Inc.org.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what it,
also, I don't, again, I'm not a fan of PayPal. I don't like PayPal, but that's beside the point. But I do use Square or Square Up, I guess is maybe how you look it up. But and
well,
I know that there's no setup fee or anything with Square.
setup fee. What do you mean?
Yeah. I mean, there probably isn't a setup fee with PayPal either. I don't know.
No. Well, here's one of the things that I've incorporated, and I'm not sure about Square, but with PayPal, it gives you transaction history,
Hmm.
things of that nature, and so I just got used to it because I know in my business, I can do things along with especially my accounting practice
Right.
that I like that it doesn't have, even though they have gone up a little bit on the fees, but I'm not familiar with Square.
Okay. Yeah. There. I mean, it's six of these, half dozen of the others. My grandfather would say they both basically do the same thing. And I'm pretty sure that their fee structure as far as transferring out of it into your bank account is probably pretty close, you know. So I'm just saying, just because you're
Well,
gonna use
PayPal,
you're
if you take 3 days to transfer, there's no transfer fee.
oh wow, okay, that's
It's
better
only if
than Square.
you want to do it immediately.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I got you. So I think Square is the same. It's 1 or 2 days. But like I said, those are six. You're more familiar with PayPal and you're the treasurer. So I will leave it to your discretion. And
Thank you.
Flipkart says we can use either one, so it doesn't matter.
And with tax season being here, I don't need to learn something new. Trust me.
Okay. Fair enough. So, so we will trust Adam to take care of that so we can get that issue totally squared away. So if people want to start registering, they can. Second thing to do with the financial freedom thing is where we're going to broadcast it. Because right now, even when if I wanted to put something out on all the social media, other platforms advertising the event so that people could start signing up for the event. There's no way of telling them how they're actually going to be able to experience it. If they're going to do it, if they're going to do it online, so they're not doing it in person, and it's all going to be online. Is it going to be on Zoom? Is it going to be on, some other platform, Google Meets? I mean, we're probably going to do it on Zoom. So I'm being a little sarcastic or facetious there. But we had talked about potentially doing it on Study Al Islam's platform simply because of the reach that they already have. There was 108 something people on this morning on the program that they had, and they were talking about seeds and growing vegetables. Pretty impressive stuff, as far as I'm concerned. So I would love to do it on their platform, but as of yet, we've made no contact with them that I'm aware of. We determine whether or not that's a possibility. And if it's not a possibility, then we need to go ahead and set it up on our own Zoom account so that we can tie that in. And if people want to pre-register all that, and hopefully we have a payment system in place so they can pay and pre-register, that they can go ahead and do that. So that's something for consideration. Any feedback from anybody? Imam Talib, I think, was going to reach out to Sister Petra, and I know her about her health, but I really talked to him about reaching out to Sister Petra's daughter and also to Sister Marcia, I believe her name is, who has been really kind of managing that Study Al Islam broadcast. To to see if that's a possibility of us using that money. Don't have an answer yet. Wasn't expecting an overnight miracle, but we do need to, we're, what, a month and I guess month and a half. Yeah, not even a month and a half. We're 5 to 6 weeks away from starting our seminars. And we don't have a designated platform yet to even advertise. This is how this is how you're going to engage the seminar. So that's another thought. And if anyone has any ideas on that, or if anyone has any, say we should go ahead and make a decision, that's one of those other things that I'm hoping that by next Sunday, to be the 22nd of February, basically 1 month and 2 days away from the start of the seminars, that we will have made that decision based on whatever information we have. And then, we can plan that out and make sure that people have that information. So so hopefully you jotted down some notes on that, and that's something we need to make a decision on. Second thing that, or second, I guess, category was fundraising. Now, I know the webinars and seminars are a fundraising tool as well, but we're actually producing something for people for that, both the booklet and the workshop themselves. That's a trade-off, but a good one for everybody, but also launch good. I want to say 2 to 3 years ago, we were in the process of, well, it may be longer period than that. It may have been 2021. Sister Anissa Dewan was assisting us on creating a launch good campaign for fundraising then. But we kept waiting on the Internal Revenue Service to approve our 501c3, which launch good needed. And we didn't get it in time. So the whole thing fell apart. We didn't do it because we couldn't. We have everything in order, everything lined up now to do the launch good thing during Ramadan, which is the best time to do it. And I've started the process. I went in and actually started the process of putting in all of our information and what we're about and what we're trying to do and all of these things. So the last thing that they need, basically, is our banking information, routing number, and account number, which I don't have. And that's okay, because I know that with Adam, I can always get that information. But the real question is everybody on board with us doing a launch good fundraising campaign? Because we really haven't had a great deal of discussion about it. I've mentioned that I wanted to do it, that it was available to us, but we really haven't discussed it. So this is a time to kind of talk about that, because if we're going to do it during Ramadan, then we need to complete it, get that information in. So what does the body say about doing a launch good fundraising?
I don't have any objections.
I have a comment or a question. I don't know how you will see it.
Okay, go ahead.
We promoted, well, I say we promote, but it's been promoted, and the mindset that people have when they think about us, they think about a bank, right? How many banks do you know that go around asking for donations?
None that I know of, unless you count their bond offerings and all that stuff. But let me interject this though, Al,
Right.
is that 97.5% or more of the Islamic world has no idea that our primary long-range focus is to charter a financial institution.
Okay, I go with that.
Okay.
You know, I just say
So,
good news travel fast, brother.
oh, I know. So I would love to think that with the roughly 2 billion Muslims in the world, that word would travel so fast. They don't need no money. They're going to be a bank and everybody would know about us. I got a stinking suspicion that less than 1% of the entire Islamic world knows that we're out here trying to do what we're trying to do. But I also have the idea that 70% of the Islamic world, if they know what Graceline Community is trying to do, even just sliver of what we're trying to do as far as educate people about their financial health, that they might send us a small donation to assist that during Ramadan when their hearts are open. So that's why I was thinking about the launch good thing. I noticed that a lot of people in our community use it for individual um, efforts. I did notice, and rightfully so, that the sisters at a particular masjid in Newark, I'm going to say Newark, I think it may have said New Jersey, are doing a launch good fundraiser for dear sister Fitra for, her health concerns, things of that nature. So Launch Good is definitely an established entity within the Islamic community for fundraising for worthwhile things. So there's, again, nobody's voiced any real objection to us doing a Launch Good effort. So is everybody does that mean that everybody's on board with us going ahead with it? Because if that's the case, that there's really no objection to us doing it, I would like to input the banking information, the routing number, and the account number, and send that information to the Launch Good group for approval of the entire application so that we can be listed. Is there any objection? Assalamu alaikum, Brother Omar. I know you're coming again late. And we'll get all caught up.
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry, I was
Alaikum.
on study Al Islam. My
Yeah.
wife cousin was making her presentation on
Oh, is that right? So she was talking
sustainability
about all
farming.
the seeds and the
Yes,
composting and all
yes,
that good stuff. Yes.
yes.
Okay. I didn't know that was your wife's cousin. Wow. Great. Okay. So okay. So everybody kind of think about that. We'll come back to that and make sure that we're all on the same page. The third item, Brother Omar sent out an email this week in reference to a grant opportunity with Truist Foundation. And I'm hoping everybody had an opportunity to at least give that a cursory look. Truist is a pretty sound, respected financial institution. And I trust Omar's research into that foundation and the grants that they that they fund, grant opportunities that they fund. Does anybody have any objection to us reaching out to Truist to secure a grant for the work that we're doing? And Omar, I'd like you to jump in and just tell us a little bit about what applying for these grants, what that entails, and what our rest of our involvement would be. I know that you would probably spearhead it, but what all is needed for that.
Yeah, so assalamu alaikum everyone, and I apologize for coming in a little bit late this morning. But the Truist Foundation, of course, is associated with Truist Bank. And every year they've released this opportunity to encourage not only financial education, but also economic upper movement for marginalized and underserved communities. And when I saw this opportunity come across my email, I felt it was a good fit for some of the educational initiatives that we have talked about in the past that we wanted to target the unbanked, underbanked, and small businesses that do not have a relationship with the banking, any banking institution. And how can we as an organization develop a piloted program around targeting these specific groups of individuals? Now, it's going to be on a small scale. We have to be able to show that we can scale it, right? And my initial thoughts is to do a pilot where we recruit somewhere between 50 and 100 participants to participate in this pilot. Again, in those three categories that I described: the unbanked, underbanked, and small businesses, entrepreneurs that do not have a banking relationship. Those are the targeted populations that we are will be seeking to participate in the program. Starting small, targeting, because I did a little bit of research and found that out of all of the regions, the Southeast has the most people that do not have a banking relationship in some format. And in the Southeast, North Carolina and South Carolina stands out from the rest of the states. I'm pretty sure, and maybe Mississippi stand out the most of having, and if my mind is recalling correctly, North Carolina had, I think it was 3.5% of the population do not have banking accounts of some type of relationship with a bank, and South Carolina is a little bit higher than that. And I cannot remember the other states that make up the Southeast, but I felt like South Carolina and North Carolina could be some parts of South Carolina and North Carolina could be like the target states that we target to recruit those 50 to 100 participants in some type of educational initiative. I'm still kind of thinking that process through, and that's where I'm going to need the help, Brother Edwards, from this whole team, is to help me kind of navigate what this piloted program should look like. And I think it should be a pathway, initial thought is some pathway to banking. And I think that we can cultivate some relationships with local CDFIs. Those are your community development financing institutions, as well as other banking institutions in those areas to walk alongside us in helping to educate the target population. I was initially thinking as well as at the close of this piloted program, we can have in each of those states, we can have a day of banking, which we invite the financial institutions to an event to be able to then present or make presentations around services that they offer. How can they increase the number of folks that participate in this program to open up banking accounts, to begin to look at those institutions as financial vehicles to stabilize their life. So those are some of the initial thoughts, Imam Edward. And I would love to hear from other folks in regards to some of your thoughts in some directions that we can take this.
So I'm 100% on board with you. And I didn't know those numbers were so high in North Carolina, South Carolina. And if you would ask me, I would have thought that North Carolina would have not had, man, anywhere even close to those numbers that you threw out. So a couple of things come to mind. Obviously, is probably identifying those pockets within those states, whether they're rural areas or deep urban areas where those issues exist, maybe for emphasis when we're doing the proposal of areas that we are really going to try to affect. The other thing, obviously, I think that we could throw in there is ex-offender populations. And I want to say, I thought that there was a credit union that was created in North Carolina or South Carolina in the last 5 years that was pointedly going after opening bank accounts for ex-offenders, as they exited the system, came back into normal life, that they'd have a bank account they could just kind of walk into type of thing. But in this particular grant situation, all those things, underserved populations, ex-offender populations, youth, being a part of understanding the banking system, especially urban, and when we say urban, we're probably talking African American, Hispanic, immigrant populations. So, I mean, I'm willing to do whatever research needs to be done on any of those aspects that would help us with that grant thing.
Okay, cool. I would love to establish a working group that all of us can work on this, because I see this as an opportunity as well as a teachable moment where where those who are not comfortable with grant writing, this is an opportunity, because some of the easiest grants to apply for are foundation grants.
Okay.
Particularly if it's your first type of grant working on, it is definitely foundation grant, not government grants. So those tend to be a little bit more intense in the amount of information that they ask for. But again, this is going to be competitive. This is going to be highly competitive. One, because the pool of resources out there is shrinking. So you're going to have organizations that maybe have never looked at this type of funding before look at this funding, because the floor is when I was looking at the flyer, I think the floor was 100,000 and the ceiling is 3 million. Right, so you're going to have a lot of people that is going to be looking at this opportunity.
Okay. Well, I know you're familiar with putting together, like whether you want to use Slack or something like that, or putting a group together. So could you start that process? And also, what's
Yes.
the filing deadline for this?
March. I want to say it's like the lateral part of March.
Okay.
But yes, I can put that together in the shared documents and everything. Deadlines, like a timeline that we need to stay on and stay focused. My kind of best practices when I'm submitting grants is to try to submit them at least a week or two before the deadline. Because you're always going to run into challenges around the portal that you're trying to submit it in, everything, right? So you want to work out those kind of kinks. You don't want to wait to the day that is due to try to submit a grant. You will be stressed.
Okay, all right, so get that together for us, and I mean, anybody that wants to participate, just Omar, just send out a, like, maybe once you have the kind of a work group idea set up, just send out a general email, body, to how they can join it. I mean, we don't
Okay.
have to have a show of hands
Okay.
right now. Adam is not going to be a part of it because it's
I
tax
understand.
season.
I understand.
So we already understand that. But if you want to participate, participate. If you don't, there, you do not have to go to the principal's office. If you don't
Right, right,
participate. All right.
right. I will include everyone on the when I create the shared folder. I will give access to everyone. So you can
Okay.
pop in and see our progress um uh with that, and make any suggestions for pivoting or whatever. I think you all know me by now. I am open to all suggestions, and will pivot when necessary. So
Okay.
I will do that today, Emmanuel.
All right. Thank you.
And,
Thank
and
you, Omar.
and don't feel bad if you include me in it, but I will do something if I can. I won't totally take myself out, but
I
I'll
understand.
review it. Please, brother. I mean,
I will include you. And my wife was really encouraging me to record my process and steps on how I go about from reading the RFP all the way to proposal submission. So she wants me to record that process, and then we can make that video available to people.
We'll do it as a document
Yes, yes, we can
and
do
have
that as a document as well. Yeah.
exactly. All right. Fantastic. Okay. Look forward to that. Next item. Ramadan fast approaches. So I'm just thinking about our celebration as a group, Graceline Community, of what we're going to put on the website, what we're going to put out on social media, things of that nature. Any of us that are part of the group that are creative in nature, that have any ideas of proper expression, and how often, if we put something on the website, I'm not thinking that we should go change the website every day or anything of that nature. But coming up with something that's really nice to put on the website, I would love for somebody who has the ability to create, to do something like that, and we can get that on the website very quickly. Probably have that done in a day, because it's very quick about doing that particular type of thing. We create some art for that purpose. So anybody that has any ideas on that, get with myself, get with Imam Talib, and we can make sure that we can get that on the website. So also the same thing goes for all of our social media, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or so on and so forth. That, we obviously want to include the Ramadan greeting at the very beginning. How often we want to repeat that on a daily basis, whatever the case may be. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Whether it needs to be done once or twice, or once and then wait and have an Eid greeting, or whatever, and how that works. So any feedback on that, how we want to proceed with expressing, the beauty of Ramadan. Or does everybody just want to do it individually? I mean, is everybody aware that Graceline Community has a Facebook page that you can just go to Graceline and you can put your own Ramadan greetings on there if you want to? Or does it matter?
I I think it matters. I'm not sure how many followers we have, but it has a reach, so that would be nice. And if you haven't liked it or befriended it or whatever they call it, if you're on Facebook, just go ahead and do that. That gets our numbers up.
Yeah, which is something else we're gonna talk about here in a minute, but I think everybody's gonna do it on your own. If you do have your own personal Facebook page, you're gonna do this thing. You're gonna say Ramadan Mubarak. It's pretty automatic that everybody does that. At least the first day of Ramadan.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, but I just think we need to do it. We need to do it as a group. We obviously need to have it on our website. Undoubtedly. So and then we're going to kind of bounce. I'm going to bounce down to item number 6 from item number 4 and skip over item number 5 for a minute, because what Adam said really, it ties the two together, is that part of our pursuit of getting the credit union charter. And this is not hyperbole. This is straight from NCUA. Is that, yeah, I think the number was 3,000. It may have been 3,500, somewhere in there, which is, it's a large number because we're not there yet. It's a small number because of the quote unquote supposed size of our community, the community of Imam Deputy Muhammad, that we struggle to get 3,000 people to become members of Graceline Community when it costs nothing to become a member of Graceline Community. So obviously there's something you're not doing to engage enough people. So again, these are, like Adam just said, this is just an opportunity, another opportunity to reach out and touch people in our community and in the broader Islamic community. And we have to use all of the best efforts that we can to be able to do that. And I'm not saying that we haven't. We just have to be continually working on broadening the number of people that we touch and engaging them. I had this discussion with an acquaintance, a brother in LA on Saturday. And he was asking about credit union. And he said, what are your roadblocks? I said, well, one of the roadblocks is membership. He said, I don't understand. And I went and explained to him exactly what I just said about getting the numbers and what NCUA requirement of us is. And he was stunned. Now, understand that, probably I doubt that there's anybody in the Islamic community in Los Angeles. There may be, I bet there's less than 10 people in all of our community in Los Angeles that are members of Graceline Community. So it should not have been that big a shock to him. But he was still a little taken aback that we're less than 1,500 members. So whatever our outreach efforts are, we need to continue the good things that we're doing. And we need to come up with some new, better ideas of reaching people, engaging people, and also helping them to understand the greater mission of Graceline Community, of which the credit union is only a part of that mission. Big part, but still only a part of the overall mission. And in and of itself, when the credit union is chartered and people are depositing their funds there, the credit union itself simply becomes a conduit for the greater mission of Graceline Community. So anyway, that was that. So that was skipping. So number 5 that I skipped over was, and Imam Talib was not with us to give us any kind of an update on his research, because we were looking into, or he was starting again for the second time to look into low performing troubled credit unions, etc., that we could potentially position ourselves to just simply go in and take over management and transformation of an existing credit. So since he's not here, there's not really anyone here to give a report on that. But any of us, I mean, I know that we all have the list, but also know there are time limitations on everybody as far as the amount of time that you can do, that you can set aside to do a search on that. But given the current economic climate, I'm going to say that this list that we got maybe a couple of years ago of underperforming credit unions, that many of those credit unions on that list, if they are still functional, operating, probably have not improved their financial condition. And there might be new credit unions that have been added to that list. So, I'm going to, over the next week, set aside at least a couple of hours myself to go in and review a couple of credit unions that I had circled from that original list. And look up some NCUA, some of the more current NCUA financials, and see if their conditions have improved or deteriorated. And I did, when we initially got that list, I did reach out to a couple of those credit unions at that time. They were kind of hesitant to talk to me. It wasn't a real formal approach to them. I did write them a letter and all that kind of stuff, where I just picked up the phone and called them. But if you can find the time, we ran into that one situation in the state of Mississippi with some brothers, at least one brother who was a part of our community, who had approached and, to the best of my recollection, had become board members, had controlled the board of directors of a credit union in the state of Mississippi. That there are some opportunities out there to affect, that particular type of takeover, new management, whatever you want to call it, of a current credit union, and that would expedite some of the efforts that we have, toward charting a credit union. So that those 6 items that's what I had today that were on my mind. I'm sure that there are things that are on the minds of the rest of you as well. Adam, you've only got maybe 10 minutes or so before you have to go. So the floor is open to either talk about any new items, or if you want to revisit any parts of the 6 different things that we've talked about so far.
Assalamu alaikum.
Like
Like that's not-
This Tariq, I don't have anything to say except that I need to lead the meeting. I'm so tired. I was out of town, and didn't get to sleep until about 2:30. Been up since 5, and so I'm gonna leave. And I hope that still give us a quorum if I leave too, along with when Email Madam get ready to leave. Yeah,
Yeah, you're fine, brother Imam.
okay.
Go ahead and get some
Yeah,
rest. I don't think we're gonna take any formal votes on anything
okay.
this morning, so go get yourself some rest.
All right, all right. Thank you all. I sound like
All right. We'll like salam.
Salam.
Okay, so if there's not anything new to discuss, I do want to circle back to uh the fundraising via Lunch Good and whether or not we want to go ahead and do that this summer. Just to make sure that everybody is kind of in agreement. Again, there's no cost to us to do it. It's just there's a vehicle if we want to use it. And if we are going to use it, what I need to complete the application is our banking information, routing number and account number. So that when funds do come into Lunch Fund, they know to send that money.
Yeah.
So I'll I guess email that to you.
Yeah, if you do that, and if there's no objection from anyone, then I'll get that completed again. So that hopefully we can get that approved in the next couple of days.
And I'll do it through a secure link, brother.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So excellent. Sister Patricia, I'm reading your text, and I would say that if you give, and I think I have your information. I think I have your email address. So that if you want to become a member of Graceline, then I can put your information in as a member without you having to go to your computer and do that. If that's what you wish, I can add you. Yes, yeah, you put your email address in the chat. I'm pretty sure I have that anyway. So I will add you to the membership list. Okay. And then Sister Khalid, I know that you're teaching class, but I'm reading your chat. That's on the website. Okay. And also as far as the grants. Okay. Okay. All right. I got all of that, Sister Felita, as far as Sister Clever Public Schools as well. Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if we can do anything to involve and incorporate the schools and things that we do, that would be great. Okay. All right. So anything else? Quick question. And because Imam Talib is not here, and anybody that knows me knows I'm extremely patient until I don't have any patience left. Then I'm very impatient. I do want to reach out to Study Al Islam about using their platform. But I personally don't believe that I have any contact information for either Sister Petra or daughter or anybody else in Study Al Islam. If anyone has that information and is willing to either share that information or act as an intermediary in contacting them about this opportunity, then let me know. Because if you would like to be the person to make the request or the introduction or whatever, please do that. If you would rather I do it and you have the information for making that contact, please share it with me. And I'll leave it at that. Because I would love to use their platform for our seminars if possible. Anyway, that being that, is there anything else this morning?
Edward, this is
Yes.
Rabani. I just like to make an announcement that we broke ground in Raleigh for the new masjid on the 11th, and that there
Wow.
was a film crew taking the film of the proceeds, and there were a lot of people there. It was in the newspaper, on TV, and it was quite a successful groundbreaking and presentation of our community in the Raleigh area, which was tremendous boost. And the film, I couldn't make it there because I had a lot of stuff here that I'm trying to finish up and get the second permit for Columbia Masjid and the masjid in Miami. So I couldn't drive all the way up to Raleigh. So I just they will be doing they will interview me later on, which is good. And then we had people, brother from Chicago, sat down and took Imam Omar. No, I'm sorry, Imam, the brother who gave the presentation, took his speech and made a song from it real quick, and it was quite. I'm very interested in hearing the whole thing with the accommodations of the musical instruments. So it was quite a motivation for other communities to pursue and keep the foot on the gas so that we can begin to develop a real strong community identity. So Brother Oliver, Imam Oliver, gave the presentation. So it's something that we can look forward to motivate us to continue to develop our infrastructure, Islamic infrastructure.
Yeah, that was great. I remember you and I talking about 3 of your projects all
Yes,
coming to fruition at about the same time. Florida,
exactly.
Raleigh, and also Charlotte.
Charlotte, hopefully, yes, inshallah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that is alhamdulillah. That, I mean, our community is making really wonderful progress in so many different areas. And again, I'd actually talked to, and I know some or all of this is going to eventually make its way to Muslim Journal. So we'll see it there and read about it there. But I almost
So
wish
yes,
that we had a dedicated like social media site that spread across all social media. So that as these things
mhm.
happen, it's what was happening in Raleigh, that was on Facebook, and it was a clip on YouTube, and a clip on TikTok, and a tip, something on Instagram as it happened.
That would complement. Yeah, that would complement the journal.
We lost your audio there for a second, Brother Rabani. Ravani, are you back? Well, I think he lost his feed there for a second. So we'll give him a couple of minutes. But do want to thank Sister Patricia for her participation this morning, and she said some really nice things in the chat, and we're going to add her and Brother Hassan Shamsuddin to our membership roles. They both expressed a desire to become members, and that's great. And I wanted to, she asked in the chat if there were things that she could do to help. And, one of the things, and she's gone, but one of the things that I would say is this, is that within each of our masjid communities, that, we continually keep people informed as to, things that are going on with Graceline, initiatives that we have, that we encourage people to become members. That if you have an opportunity to speak with the imam or assistant imam there about including Graceline Community in announcements during Jummah, that kind of thing is helpful as well. If there is information and material from Graceline that's available at the masjid for people to pick up and read, take home, share with other people, those type of things are extremely helpful. Just little incremental steps, anything of that nature is extremely helpful. So that being said, it is top of the hour. It's 11 a.m. here. I know it's noon for many of you on the East Coast. Oh, here's Rabani. And we'll give him a second, and then we'll close out this morning. Assalamu alaikum, Rabani. You made it back. Assalamu alaikum, brother. You made it back.
Anyway, that yeah, yeah, it was rain. I think it was this sudden storm. So, but
Okay.
anyway, that I was about to say that a platform that can be used weekly. What we do as a community, and how when we talk about joining or helping America out of this situation of trust and truthfulness, that's the only thing that's going. That's the only thing that's going to reignite or bring the American republic back together. Is that we've established a group that only speak towards truth and trustworthiness, and having no other motivations other than that. And because this is what is challenging the whole, in fact, the Western society, and we need to try to help our country out of the kind of situation that we're in now with the trustworthiness of government. Show them how Prophet Muhammad handled it, and how we as African Americans have have a contribution to make towards that reestablishment of we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and understand the beauty of the Constitution. We the people. Okay, so I'm getting ready to get out of here. And
Well, why don't you just go ahead with those beautiful thoughts and close us out this morning?
Okay. In Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the Tainaka Kalthar, Vasili Rapika Wanhar, in the Shami Aku Aptar. Ameen.
Thank you all for your contributions this
Assalamu
morning,
alaikum.
and we will I'm going to give you the early Ramadan greeting, Ramadan Mubarak. Hope everyone has a wonderful start to their Ramadan on Tuesday.
Inshallah. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.